Day of the Dead by George Romero is a zombie classic. Yes, it doesn't get talked about as much as Dawn of the Dead, but the cult following behind it is just as big. But did you know that the movie that we all know and love today didn't originally look that way? It was bigger, it was badder, and it had way more guts. So let's get straight into it. I'm Sean from Don't Say the Z Word, and here are some facts about Day of the Dead you may not know. The budget for a movie is a very important thing, because if there's no budget, there tends to be no movie. A lot of directors struggle making their vision come to life and matching it up to the budget that they have to play with. Well, George knew what he wanted to create. He knew he wanted to make the most shocking, gory, violent zombie movie that had ever been shot, but also have a fantastic storyline with amazing characters that you, the viewer, will love, hate, or love to hate. So when producers said the movie needed to be R-rated, George stood his ground and said no. He wanted an unrated movie, which means no one under the age of 17 will be able to see it, but it meant keeping his vision, which I think is fair enough. After some time, the producers agreed with the rated system, but at a cost, half the budget of the movie. So that's what happened. It went from $7 million to $3.5 million, which of course meant a script rewrite, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So because of the hefty budget cut, the original script was a no-go, but let me tell you that the original script was a corker. Tom Savini once said the original Day script was like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but with zombies. So the original script did have the underground base that we all know and love, but it also featured overground camps that conducted experiments on the undead. These camps literally had armies of the dead, who in the OG script were trained to fight other zombies. That's right, people, we missed out on zombies fighting zombies in one of the goriest zombie movies ever made. With this all going on and the stuff that was happening underground, this script was far more complex than the one we've all seen. And the original ending was pretty special as well. These armies of the dead were, killing each other, and the actual dead stopped rising for some reason. So this would have actually seen the end of the zombie outbreak. If you fancy reading the original script, I've pinned the link in the comments. So there were a lot of extras in this movie, and with a smaller budget, the crew needed to get creative. Don't get us wrong though, if there was a calling to be a zombie in a Romero movie, I wouldn't have wanted to get paid. Just to see the man in action would have been payment enough. But each extra got something special from the crew. Firstly, they were paid with a dollar bill. Secondly, they got a copy of the newspaper with the headline The Dead Walk, which is seen in the opening sequence of the movie. And lastly, they got a cool hat that says I was a zombie in Day of the Dead. How cool is that? That is 3 cool mementos of your time being a zombie on the Day of the Dead set. Granted, the buck has probably been well and truly spent, but I'm sure there's still some hats and newspaper articles out there. Let us know in the comments if you have one or both. So we have all no doubt seen Rhodes' death. If you haven't, spoilers I guess. His death is to this day one of the goriest deaths I've seen in a movie. Fun fact, I saw the scene when I was 8 years old. My older brother thought it would be a fun idea to show me. I couldn't sleep for a week after that. Cheers, Roy. Anyway, back to the story. So the guts and the bits needed for the scene came from a local butcher. If you're wondering, they used pig guts and chicken parts. That's the official title, chicken parts. Anyway, I digress again. They were used in other scenes as well to help cut costs. So when they were done with the guts and bits, they kept them in the fridge. Yeah, to keep them fresh. Anyway, halfway through production, the crew went and filmed the scenes in Florida, and someone unplugged the fridge. The crew came back several weeks later and realised what had happened. With no time or budget, they had to use what they had for Rhodes' death. The zombies all had wax up their nostrils to stop the smell, and the crew were all masked up. But yeah, poor old Joseph Pilato had to endure the stench that was rotting pig guts for some time as the crew perfected the shot. Poor guy. Bob is the greatest and most loved zombie of all time, and that's down to 2 people, George Romero for writing the character, and Sherman Howard, whose acting is just amazing. A lot of the scenes with Bob, he just steals the show, and it was all improv from Sherman. You know the scene where Bob picks up the Walkman and starts listening to music? Yeah, that's a pivotal scene in the movie in which it shows what Frankenstein was trying to achieve. That was all Sherman's idea. He went up to George and started talking to him about what Bob would do if he saw a tape player and headphones. George liked it so much that they pretty much filmed it straight away. It just goes to show the range that Sherman has as an actor and the amazing guidance from George that they both made us fall in love with a zombie. And that is truly something special which people try to create to this day but sadly fail. And there we have it, some cool behind the scene facts about George Romero's classic Day of the Dead. Do you know any other facts about Day of the Dead? We would love to hear them, so pop them in the comments below and maybe we'll make a part 2. If you enjoyed this video, then why not give it a thumbs up, share it with a fellow zombie fan, and if you haven't already, why not subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. All links mentioned in today's video are pinned in the comments. You'll also find links to our Instagram and Spring page as well, so why not go check them out. Thanks for watching, and like George Romero always said, stay scared.